Welcome back, everybody. Yards After the Catch podcast for one last time here in 2025-2026 NFL season. Everything is in the books. Your Super Bowl champs are the Seattle Seahawks for the second time in their franchise history. I got my boy Mark tonight. Hopefully we got Nico. We got Bars coming in later in the show, but I'm happy to be back with my man. How are you, Mark?
Doing great. The sandwich has no more bites left. No more football. For I mean, free agency starts in a month, and the
Yep.
draft is a couple months away. So, you know, there's news and NFL action on the horizon, just not on the field.
Yep. So we'll have a 213 approximately day pause momentarily for the actual football action, but we got the draft, we got off season, we got deadlines to talk about, and we have huge news around the league, which we will talk about and we'll get some thoughts on. But we have to start with the biggest game of the year. Super Bowl was absolutely lit. It was a bit of a snoozer for your average Johnny Come Lately fan in the first half, but it turned on in the second half. We had some fireworks, defensive and offensively. Ultimately, Seattle dominated the end of the game, 29-13. We had some scores that were pretty close. I know our boy Brian, shout out to him, had a score within that vicinity, 28-14 or so. Jason Garrett on NBC had a similar score. I didn't see this much dominance in my predictions, but I did have Seattle prevailing. But I definitely want to give you the floor to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I think you were kind of spot on saying how it wasn't like a great game to watch for like the average
Right.
NFL watcher. But I think it was just a steady performance by the Seahawks. Just Jason Myers field goal after Jason Myers field goal.
Yeah, baby.
Boy from Maris. Just slowly chipping away, and then in the second half, the dam breaks open. And Drake May had a great regular season, but just really didn't have an amazing playoffs, and
Yep.
that's okay. Like he's a second year, 23-year-old player.
Yep.
No one expected the Patriots to be here. Like I think it's safe to say that. Like,
Yep.
and they should be very hopeful for what's to come. And they got a lot done this year. They won the division again. They won the AFC. Drake May was almost the MVP winner, and their coaching staff won awards too.
Yeah.
So I think they shouldn't be hanging their heads too low, especially after winning 6 Super Bowls before. So, but just looking at Seattle, you got to give them all the credit in the world. I mean, Mike Macdonald is just a great young defensive mind. He's everything that I wish McDermott was in Buffalo, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just Kenneth Walker put the team on his back for a lot of this game.
Yeah.
And showed that he does not need Zach Charbonnet taking carries from him. So we'll see if he sticks around. But Seattle, special teams, just a relentless pass rush, not letting Drake May work down the field. And it was just, slow in the first half, but in the second half, it was by the end of the third quarter, it was all but wrapped up. So I enjoyed it. It was a great game. And like I said, like these are two teams that are not going anywhere.
Oh, no, absolutely not. I mean, both teams will be back in the mix next year. We know that the elevation of the competition in the NFC is much higher. It's much steeper this year compared to last year. But there's a huge meteoric rise in talent, particularly at the quarterback position in the AFC. So we know that Drake May is going to be in the mix. He's going to keep that team competitive. Strength of schedule, we expect them to maybe slip a few games next year. That's kind of anticipated, particularly coming off a Super Bowl loss. It's hard to get back to the top of the mountain. I agree with everything you said, and I think this game was oddly, eerily familiar with resembling the 2022 Super Bowl with the Rams and the Bengals. And the reason being is because you saw Burrow under duress the entire game. That was a defense-heavy Super Bowl team with the Rams. I mean, they definitely had a great offense, Cooper Kupp, Stafford, and those boys. But I think it was clear as day by halftime and into the third quarter that this team is shot without the left side of its offensive line with
Yeah,
Patriots. And it's amazing that in the pregame we didn't really discuss it too much. We thought this was pretty even, pretty mid-balanced between the two matching up with one another. But any other circumstance, if we're looking at an objective game, we're picking them. We would have saw that two rookies on your left side is going to be a huge problem, and it was. I mean, they got home 6 times. We know this defense is elite. They showed it all through that first half, the entire game for that matter. And Drake May just had a pedestrian game. He was under duress. He did what young quarterbacks do. He kind of followed a lot of the same problems that he had in the first 3 rounds in the playoffs. But he'll be back again in the future. I mean, he's only 23. He's like either the second or third youngest quarterback to ever make the Super Bowl, from my understanding. 27 to 43 is not the way you want to go out. You want to have more of a run balance game. And I just don't think they were able to really just like get anything going. I was really looking for the Patriots to kind of get like a little bit of like short slant route action with Mac
sure.
Collins, with Diggs, get things to kind of put its defense on its heels, make it insular, pack it in. They were playing a zone almost the whole game in Seattle, and I think they alluded to that on the broadcast with Collinsworth and Tirico. They said, this is a pretty boilerplate like zone defense, but they weren't picking it up. I thought Stevenson kind of failed to launch. And I thought that they didn't really get a lot of. They didn't get the defense did as much as they possibly could, keeping Darnold intact and Jigba. I thought that they really they didn't let the dam burst until like late into the third quarter, and even when they did score a touchdown, New England answered right back. So they did have the capability to stay in that game, but when you're so far behind the sticks, you can't get your offense going. When it comes to both passing or running the ball, it's really hard to dig yourself out of a hole like that with no momentum. And even once they did get momentum, I mean, he threw that pick in late in the third quarter that completely turned everything over. Gave Sam Darnold a short field again. And shout out to your boy, the Red Fox, Mr. Myers. That was it's hard to give a kicker besides someone like a Vinatieri that I can think of in recent history, the Super Bowl MVP, but he was making a damn good case for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think he ultimately probably had to hit like one or two like 50 or 60 yarders to get like a Super Bowl MVP, but steady Eddie, Super Bowl record. It's first America's Red Fox in the Super Bowl. We'll take it. But for the New England, I got to shout out Christian Gonzalez. I mean, he made like 4 or 5 plays that were just like game-changing plays, saving points on the board. So
to the point,
out to him.
To the point, just to jump on that point, that's excellent. If he didn't make those plays, like it would have been a blowout type of thing.
Yeah. And then there was like also some throws that like Darnold had pretty early that were like a little sketchy, like a little close call there, like could have gone the other way. So but that's how it is. This is a game of inches, and it was a good game to watch. I think for the people of this podcast.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah! I think we all kind of picked it pretty well. Robert, you can keep crying. We'll see you next year. I'll get my dick kicked in for that. It's okay.
Oh boy.
You people at home, hopefully you're outside the New England region a little bit. We got our boy Desmond out there west, but he still falls for the Eagles. So yeah, that's what it is.
That's what it is. Yeah. I'm a Bills fan in Connecticut, so
yeah. Now, moving forward, we're looking at the 26-27 season. It's far too early to pick, any teams to make the Super Bowl again in Super Bowl 61. But I want to talk about the future of these two teams. What's their ceiling? What do you think their future the next 2, 3 to 5 years shapes out to be? And who are you more confident
in? I would say 3 or 4 years down the road is a little harder to predict.
Yeah, of course.
Next year. So I'll focus on just next year for now. And I think Seattle, I think they're here to stay. They really have an alarming amount of cap space that I just found out because I went on Spot Rack. They have $73 million in cap space next year. And they have 9 UFAs, but the guys are all pretty reasonably priced. No one they have to really overpay for. Their safety, Kobe Bryant, might be worth 14 million, Spot Rack says. But I think Seattle, they just have to fend off the Niners and the Rams really. And I know Stafford's coming back, but uh, Seattle just has a really dominant defense, and I just think they're here to stay. And I think the Patriots are not going anywhere either. But I think they might have a slightly worse record with his first place schedule is coming up, and then I think the Patriots will they'll make the playoffs probably, and I think they could even still win a playoff game, maybe even go back to the AFC Championship. Like they're not going anywhere. Like Vrabel had a great year, first year establishing a culture there. So I think these two teams, culture wise, like I think they're well established and ready to go. So I think they'll be both at the top of their conferences, but there will be people, Mahomes will come back at some point next year.
Yep.
Chiefs, Burrow
Yep.
will be good to go. Lamar Jackson, of course, and then
Your favorite.
there's potential now. Play Josh will get off those crutches soon, and
Yep.
there's plenty of players in the AFC still. So,
Yep.
but the Patriots are, they found their quarterback. They have a great defense at Super Bowl caliber, and it'll be interesting to see how next year shapes up. We just have to wait a little while.
Yeah, and just to add to the backdrop with the AFC with on a competitive level, you still got Denver with Bo Nix coming off the injury. It may be a year for him with the ACL, but they'll still be there when we talk about 2, 3, 5 years from now. And you still got Jacksonville riding high.
Jacksonville too, yeah, I forgot about
Houston's got a loaded defense. You give
them.
Indianapolis a year. I mean, I think the AFC South, and this is for another pod, I think is probably the most intriguing division out of all of the bunch, just for me. I think there's so many questions. But I think, ultimately, I think Seattle's got well, just to piggyback, I think Seattle is set up for the most success because they got, like you said, sixth bit greatest cap space. You got Sam Darnold on what seems to look like literally a discount. I mean, you got when you have a
Yeah.
quarterback of that caliber under 40 million in today's market, I mean, you're set. Like,
Mhm.
and he's going to demand more. He's on a short deal, but like it's still, I mean, that's really, really good. Mike McDonald is a future rising star in this league as a coach. He's right up there with the McVays. He's right up there with now the Kubiaks and the other young coaches, D'Amico Ryans. I think Seattle is going to take some bumps and lumps, but they have what everybody wants as a championship makeup. They have an elite defense, possibly an all-time defense as this plays out. And I think, and the run game, getting Charbonnet,
Dark side, right?
getting Walker, yeah, getting Walker and Charbonnet back healthy though too. Uh, and for New England, I expect them to lose a few more games next year because of the schedule, which is the most obvious thing. But I do expect them to take a step back because I think need to address they need to address what's going on with the left side of the offensive line. Campbell and excuse me, what's his name? Jared Wilson. Those two guys, obviously they're rookies. They need a couple of years to blossom and grow. I'm not out on them. I just think they need to address and solidify, their position. Maybe they slide them on the line. They get someone in free agency to shore things up. But I think they need another offensive piece, another weapon. I don't expect them to re-sign Diggs or bring him back. Booty was kind of underwhelming. He was like here and there. Matt Collins, he's a great guy, we know, but he's not a true number one. I think they really need like a dynamic receiver on the edge, and they needed that during the Belichick era too. I mean, this has kind of been always a problem for New England.
Mhm.
Like star-studded guys. They're really meat and potatoes as an organization. They're like everything from the ball on both sides.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, before, because this is live pod, this is how we do it. I'm gonna take a second to see if we can get our man Bars in before we jump into our next segment with some of the coaching hires. So let me take a look here. Bear with us at home, y'all. This is what we do.
it's all good.
um, I don't know why he can't get in. This motherfucker. Literally. All right. Mark, you doing good? You there? You,
Yep.
you good?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so everybody home, my bad. We're trying to get our buddy Bars up and running with us. While we're working on that, we will talk a little bit about the recent coaching hire in the mix, Mike LaFleur going to Arizona Cardinals. Um, I think it's a great hire. I think you have to get any kind of extraction from a championship caliber team. And when that happens, I think you have to strike while the iron's hot. He's a young guy. He's got championship pedigree with the Rams. I think, definitely have like from an operational standpoint, they have an identity of like a young culture with Arizona, but they need to be competitive. And I think they need someone innovative to keep up with the competition with the Rams, with the Niners, with the Seahawks. What is your kind of perspective on that organization and where they're going with this hire?
Um, I think it's a logical hire for them
Yep.
if they want to see what they have left in Kyler Murray. I guess a guy that's like from the Shanahan tree, and now he's been under McVay. I mean, he definitely wasn't calling the plays, I don't think, in LA, but he went to the Jets with Salah, like because he was with Shanahan and
Yep.
San Fran from there. So I don't know. He's come from a lot of good coaching trees, I think, and he's got a lot of experience. He had a good amount of success with the Rams this year, but like I still think it's a McVay led offense ultimately. So I think he's going to have a lot to prove in that division. I mean, Seattle
Yep.
just won the Super Bowl, and he's going to face his former mentor in Shanahan and McVay. It's kind of crazy. So
Yep.
um, he's going to have a challenge. It's going to be interesting to see if they stick with Kyler Murray. That's kind of up in the air. I'm not too optimistic about their chances coming up this year, but it'll be interesting to see how the offseason develops for them and the decisions that he makes to go into next year.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Um, while we're kind of discussing it too, I want to take a quick peek at their schedule as well. I know it's not, it's only preordained in terms of the competition, but not necessarily the placement. Arizona schedule. We are so professional, y'all, for real.
Yeah, we're having a rough night.
It's all right.
My
It's
charger fell out, so I had to
it's
pull my phone out earlier.
all good. It's all good. Let's see here. Boom. Yeah, it's super slow loading too, but that's just me being an idiot. Um,
The bar is like locked out.
I guess so. I guess so. I think his Zoom just hates him. Um, let's see here. Well, while we're trying to pull it up, we're not we're struggling tonight. It is what it is. Um, Cardinals.
You should just talk about
Well,
the Kubiak hire.
yeah. Well, I want to jump into. Okay, here we go. 2026 opponents. My apologies.
Okay, yeah.
So
Who you
at
got?
home they got some of the NFC East here. They got Philadelphia, Washington, Denver, Raiders, Rams, 49ers, Seattle Seahawks, defending champ Seahawks, the New York Jets, and the Lions. I mean, there's really not much wiggle room there at all. And then on the road, they got to go to KC. They got the Chargers. They got Dallas. They got the Giants. They got, of course, their entire division as well, and then they got New Orleans. So you're basically playing the entire AFC West, and you're playing the NFC East. So I mean, that's a tough road. It's a tough road.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
much wiggle room at all.
No.
And you could even tell by by some of the memes too of the remaining fans they have. It's like, oh God, it's like it just never stops. It's just an infinite turd coming in my face.
Yeah. The Red Sea.
The
That's what they
poor
call
Cardinals
themselves, I think.
fans.
But
The
yeah,
poor,
no, it's unfortunate. I have family out in Arizona, and they're
yep.
Cardinals fans, so It's been
Yikes.
a long time since Kurt Warner took them to the Super Bowl against
Oh
the
God.
Seahawks. You
At this
know,
point, it's ages ago. I
yeah,
mean, we remember like vividly that Super Bowl with Pittsburgh, but it's like it feels like it was like another lifetime ago.
yeah. I mean, they were close with Carson Palmer and Bruce
They
Arians
were. They
one year, but yes, they could use a spark, and hopefully LaFleur can provide it for him. But he's got a tough road ahead, like you said.
Yeah. Um, Moving on though, we will talk about the other last minute hire who just got his start now that they've put the Super Bowl behind him. Mr. All Business from day one. There we go. We got our gentleman. We got our man. Just in the nick of time. Mr. Bars the God joining the show. Can you hear us?
Where is he?
Where's my man? Where's Cecil Rhodes? There he is. Bars the God. What's up, baby?
Yo,
You
listen,
made it.
Oh, he made it.
You made it.
I don't want to talk about it.
We'll take it. We'll take it 40%. We'll take it 50%. Um, we talked about the Super Bowl, but I want to get your quick thoughts on what you thought of the game, and then what you think about, and then we'll talk about the coaching hire with Arizona.
All right. So, what do you want to start?
Well, no, just tell me. Like we went through the Super Bowl already. We talked about New England's future. We talked about Seattle's future. What did you think about the game itself, though? What were your thoughts?
The game itself, I thought the game was horrible, man. But at the same time, it was a very good defensive game.
Yeah.
It exposed a lot about Drake May at the same time too, but it's nothing that I didn't see already. Because at the same time, you have to understand, like they had a very, very, very weak schedule, and then all the teams that they beat, who they really beat, like you
Nobody.
talk to me about it.
Nobody.
So Seattle was their best test. Yeah, it did expose a lot about Sam Darnold too, but he played a good defense. He still won the ring. He did what he had to do. He drove the ball down the field, put his team in the position to score at least five record-breaking field goals. But at the same time, throw those out to Kenny. Throw that out to Kenny Walker the third. Yo, sorry, I'm under the weather, so my voice is a little crazy.
All good, bro.
But yeah, fuck the Patriots. Like, come on, what we talk about here? And I'm
You heard it
AFC all the
here.
way.
Oh my gosh.
But if we talk about the Patriots, then somebody had to go, and it just had to be the Patriots. What about this franchise? This is payback for Seattle. That's all it is.
Mhm.
They should have
Yes.
Yep,
they should have
facts.
ran it, and this is proof. So hey, it is what it is. As for the future for the Patriots, we'll see. Because what? When you do good, don't they give you a crazy schedule the next season? So let's see what they can do next season. And if Drake May is still holding, if that defense, I got good faith in Chris Gonzalez. I think he's a
Yeah.
great player. But let's see if they get any more pieces. I hope this Cardi B, Stephon Diggs nonsense doesn't affect the team too much.
Yeah.
Um, but she getting crazy with him on the online right now. She's getting crazy with him.
Oh,
And the Patriots ain't for the nonsense, so we'll see what's going on. And then
good point.
and at the same time, would it be crazy to say that the Seahawks don't keep Sam Darnold?
I don't know, but we're
But,
talking. Are you talking next year? Or are you talking 3 years from now?
oh yeah, what they signed him for 4 years?
It was a 4 year deal, I
They
think.
get, they give him like at least a 3-year deal, I think.
3 year deal. Excuse me. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
short. It was 3 year deal.
He's making like 35 a season. So we were saying like he might
Yeah.
get like a pay raise with the Seahawks at some point. But
If I was the agent, I'd be gunning for it now. Yeah, he didn't go hard in the Super Bowl, but you saw what he did regular season though.
yeah,
Fall down.
he did last year too.
Yeah,
Oh,
true. And
Yeah.
what you saw the stat? What the he's won 30 games since 2024 is like the most apparently.
right.
Apparently,
Like a 2 year
I don't
span.
know.
They have 14
Yeah,
back to back.
yeah. So you know what? It is what it is. Sam Darnold. I thought maybe they'd get rid of him, but with all that talk, hey, I'm the wrong one here. I'll eat that crow. I'll eat that. But that's my thoughts, man. Great halftime show. Uh, but I'll be honest with you, I turned the game off even before the halftime show. Yeah, it
Really?
was miserable. I was tired of watching it at some point because I was like, if the Rams got here, maybe we would have saw some offensive output. But then again, I thought at the same time too, like if the Bills got here, maybe we got some offensive output. I thought if it was any other team at some point, it would have might have been a more exciting Super Bowl. But it was still the second most watched Super Bowl. So I don't know if that says anything. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am not the right fan to be watching the sport anymore. But we'll figure that out later on.
Yeah. You raised a lot of good points. You're definitely echoing kind of the stuff that we saw and we felt. I thought it was very reminiscent, and Mark kind of affirmed it too. Is like they, it was very reminiscent of the Bengals Rams Super Bowl when you saw basically Burrow running for his life. I mean, he got sacked probably 5, 6 times in that game, that Super Bowl. You saw the same thing with Drake May getting under pressure, under duress from his left side. And that's why he threw picks. He was seeing ghosts. I mean, they really put the pressure on all the way. Um, but great stuff, dude. I mean, I appreciate your thoughts and your insight. I know that it's hard to watch some of those games when it's like a lot of defense. What's up?
To touch on your point, no, I like a good defensive game. Don't
Yeah,
get me wrong, I like a good defensive game, but at least score a touchdown. Make that shit like real nice. You know, something. Give the fans something to watch. But at the same time, I would say that damn, I think I lost my train of thought.
yeah. It's
Yes,
all good.
it was right there. Like fuck.
Like they need a little pop. They need something offensively to kind of keep you watching, keep you glued to the TV.
Oh, they're in the headlights. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Did
absolutely.
you see how many times he got hit? Crazy
Yeah.
work. Crazy
Yep.
work. Crazy work.
Well, we saw
Fix
we
that
said
line.
we exactly the left side. He's got two rookies on the left side. I don't think they're busts. I just think they got exposed for being rookies. I think that
Yeah.
line really needs some love, and they'll pay attention to it in the offseason. We talked about you talked about it too, bro. That they don't. This organization doesn't take risks. They're bread and butter, meat and potatoes. They basically put all of their assets on both sides closest to the ball on offensive defense. They don't pay receivers. They don't like. So I think if you're if you're the future of the Patriots, you got to go get signed like an elite star receiver. Give him his bag, and I think you need to pay attention to that left side of the ball. I really do.
Go sign a star receiver that's not going to be giving you allegation charges in the media and getting slandered by his.
For real, for real.
Yo.
Yep.
Um,
Tom Diggs for you.
I wanna just kind of keep rolling through because we're gonna keep it a brief episode until some of the off season. But I want to talk about Klint Kubiak. A little love for my team. I think it's a perfect hire. Bars, I'll let you go first because I know he just won the Super Bowl. He was the DC. What's up? You good? You good? Oh, okay. My bad. I thought you were calling me. So, as a Raider fan, I mean, we've been dog shit for years. I know that we've struck out on so many coaches. This one feels like it's going to stick. It feels authentic. It feels like he really means his business. He's about the work, and I think him and Mendoza day one. I think that's like the perfect match you could ask for. The total opposite of Pete Carroll / Joe Biden and Geno Smith. I think it's just like the exact opposite, and what the doctor ordered.
So, what I'll say is that could be true, but I feel like I think it's a front office problem with you guys. That's mainly
100%.
what I believe it is. I
100%.
feel like they need to get rid of whoever's owning the team, get some new owners in that bitch, get some new GMs, just rotate everybody because for some strange reason the culture there has always been a bit like drab. I know they call it the black hole, but they don't need to epitomize that. You feel me? Like so
Yeah.
at some point I feel like with Genty showing promise, if they do get Mendoza, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? With Kubiak. I think that there's some promise here for this team. But they suffer from a poor front office.
100%. Yeah.
They don't make
Overpaid
the right
guys,
moves.
nepotism, all that shit. Yeah, and I don't necessarily trust Spytek. He took over from Tampa. He came over last year. I don't necessarily trust him either. I think he's kind of snakish. What I don't trust and what gives me cause for concern is and this may just be my psycho autistic brain with a tinfoil hat. I think it never gives me a good feeling when you have to roll out all of the former alumni from the good old days to sell your product. It seems a little desperate. And I saw that when they had the Kubiak press conference. They had Howie Long, they had Art Shell, they had all these guys. They had Woodson, they had Rich Gannon. I mean, it's like, yeah, those are all the great days, but it's like, are you selling me the future or are you reminding me of the past? That's really like kind of the way I read it. But Mark, what do you think about the hire, man?
I mean, I think, like you said, it's the perfect fit. I think it might that what you're saying with the former players like staying behind him. I mean, I think it shows their support for him and that like
Could be, yeah.
they truly see the opportunity laid before him. You know, they have the first overall pick. This guy was the offensive coordinator of the Super Bowl winning team. Had a great season and really just I don't know, time after time just was really clutch for that team this year and helped Darnold just turn into a clutch football player, which at times he wasn't last year with the Vikings. So he's just, I think he'll be able to develop Mendoza, who I think the Raiders will pick more likely than not, and he'll emphasize his strengths. And I think Mendoza is the perfect kind of mentality, and he'll absorb everything he can from Kubiak. And he's just the perfect franchise quarterback for a place like Las Vegas. And Alex knows that because he's like clean as a whistle, like off the field. So, you know, it's just I don't know. Like I think Alex should be excited, and you know, the off season's officially begun, and you know, the draft's coming up, and it'll be an exciting one for this podcast. I know.
Oh hell yeah! I'm bringing the heat, baby. Yeah. I mean, JT Bowers, Mendoza, Kubiak. It's just going to be a whole lot of fun. And then you got Max on the other side of the ball. I really do think like their defense has come a long way. We talk about it all the time off the pod. Like I really think that they've figured that side of the ball out. It's going to be about bringing back the offense to return to glory. They haven't had a good offense since 2016 when Carr left. So I think part of that is you got to clean up that offensive line. That's day one business. You already have things preordained with getting Kubiak, the mind behind everything, and then Mendoza, the heart and soul and the talent. So getting an offensive line, that's what you're going to have to pay. And when you pay that, you rely on those rookie deals to get around things. So you still got Bowers in a rookie deal. You still got Janty in a rookie deal. And now you're going to have Mendoza in a rookie deal. That's a huge, huge benefit.
Yep.
Without a doubt.
And I agree. I feel like they fixed up that line and they bring a young quarterback in with that mindset that you said.
Yep.
With a coach who just came off of a Super Bowl.
Yep.
I think they're going to do some things.
Yep.
Dark horse.
I love it, baby.
I'm calling early dark horse.
Yep. Let's we're not gonna take too much time about the 2025 award winners. We'll go down the list and I'll get your guys' thoughts. Most valuable player, MVP, Matthew Stafford. We kind of expected it. It was kind of one of two candidates at that point of the year. Offensive player of the year, we had Jackson Smith and Jigba. Defensive player of the year, Myles Garrett, Cleveland. We saw that coming a mile away. Offensive rookie of the year, Tito McMillan, Carolina Panthers. Well deserved, much anticipated. Defensive rookie of the year, Carson Schlesinger, linebacker, Cleveland Browns. That defense was elite. He was a part of it. Protector of the year, usually an offensive lineman, Joe Thuney, Chicago Bears, cleaned it up. They covered a lot of ailments that previous O-line had with Caleb getting hit all the time. He was a big reason why, and a vet in this league. And then you got comeback player of the year, Christian McCaffrey, 49ers. Definitely up for a few candidate positions, but I think that was definitely a good fit. Coach of the year, Vrabel. We expected that. He was kind of one of a few guys, but when they made it to the top, he was right there for the taking. Assistant coach of the year, I'm going to hold my nose. It was Josh McDaniels. Uh, that shit sucked. I had no comment on that. And Walter Payton man of the year, Bobby Wagner, and that was well deserved too. We can go back to any of those, but I wanted to get your guys' thoughts. Particularly, I mean, did this committee get it right? Was there a big snub that stands out to you?
I'd say like the most deserving Hall of Fame pick this year was Roger Craig, just because he's had to wait the longest, and like he's a three-time Super Bowl champion,
Yeah,
played for the Vikings, the Raiders,
agreed.
Niners. Like he's waited enough time. Like guy's 65 years old. Like these other guys can wait. I think he's the most deserving of the Hall of Fame that went in. And I'll give credit to Vrabel and McDaniels because it's the same coaching staff. I hate to say it, dude, but the Patriots they went from worst to first this year. Vrabel kind of reestablished the culture, the Patriot way, after I think Mayo kind of let things slip last year, and they just I don't know. I think McDaniels really had a great season too because he kind of like led Drake May to almost an MVP season, and
Yeah.
now he's doing it with Drake May instead of Tom Brady. And as long as he's handling things on offense and Vrabel can handle things on defense, like
Mhm.
it's kind of just keeping the train rolling with the Patriot way. Like
Yeah.
they kind of landed on their feet this year, so I got to give them credit.
As far as how you feeling?
Lost my damn train of thought again.
Oh
It's
no!
it's pissing me off today.
We've all been there,
Give me
bro.
the back half of that list.
Well, yeah, not a problem. When we look at offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, we had Tate McMillan from Carolina Panthers. You had Schwessinger from the Browns. Protector of the year, Joe Tooney, Chicago Bears on that offensive line. Comeback player of the year, we had Christian McCaffrey.
There it
Coach,
is.
yeah, do you think that's a big one?
Is that his first or second?
Well, this is his first time coming back and really owning that award. I mean, he's been in the mix for offensive player of the year. I don't think he's won any. Let me check if he's won any other awards before.
He's not won comeback before. I was,
I think
Not
so.
sure. I think he won Offensive Player of the Year in
Yeah,
this
I
year.
think
was
so.
he or was he nominated but Kittle won?
Yeah, I think he's definitely been nominated before in the past.
Because
But
he's had a big injury before. I think that's the big one in my opinion. There,
yeah,
uh, Tedero McMillan might have snubbed somebody because he did have a couple of games where he was like just dead quiet,
yeah,
but for the most part, where he was playing, he was like pretty much on fire. I had him on my fantasy, I believe. So he was doing pretty much the work of God, or was it my parlays? I had him on most parlays, but
Somewhat.
that's how I know that he was not there for a lot of those games, but he was there for a majority of the like. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah.
not. I wouldn't say a lot. That's an exaggeration, but regardless of the point, Tetaroa I think he just barely snubbed somebody out. I'm gonna have to go look at the stats on that
Yeah.
one, but he probably just barely snubbed somebody out. And that CMC one is a big one. I think he won one before. I got to check on that one. If he didn't, I know he was nominated at least once before.
He was nominated in 23.
There we go.
Yeah.
Who won that year? Burrow, Kittle?
For 23 offensive player of the year.
No, come. Oh, he won Offensive Player of the Year that year.
No, he was nominated.
No.
Um, it was. Oh, it was T-Mac. Holy shit. Yeah, he won offensive player of the year in 23.
Good call.
Oh baby. Yeah, Carolina. And that was when he was like a true, I mean like
He was a stud.
multi dual back. I mean, he was like in full force. Not that he wasn't this year, but I'm saying like they've had, predisposition with injury. He's kind of filled gaps because of that. He was really like the face of that entire franchise for a long time. Um, and
CMC might have got the snub. He might have got the Offensive Player of the Year snub because he did work for that San Francisco team. Everybody was fucking hurt. Uh,
you talking about this year?
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, the comeback player was like I do get it. He did come off an injury, but he did work. He did the work of God for that team. Like, bro, come on.
Yeah, yeah.
Kittle was non-existent. IU cool.
I
That's it.
I
I'm done.
no, well, I think that yeah. So the big sticking points for me, and we talked about this in the pre-show. I think comeback player of the year for me was always Aiden Hutchinson from day one. I thought he was a stud. I think he's just been out of sight, out of mind because Detroit didn't make the playoffs. But I think he had an eligible candidacy to win that award. I thought his numbers were phenomenal, and if they were even in playoff contention, he was a big part of it.
He did
Um,
great.
yeah, 100%, 100%. I would have moved personally Christian McCaffrey to offensive player of the year. I understand it's hard to kind of dethrone
Yep.
Njigba. He had a phenomenal year. I get it. But when you're just a receiver versus when you're a dual back receiver and you're asked to do 10 times more with a hurt roster, I think you should kind of grade those circumstances a little differently. But that's just
Didn't
me.
didn't he have like didn't he have a record this year too?
Yeah, he had a record year. Yeah, for sure. He was like over 1,700 yards.
On the scrimmage.
He was
So,
phenomenal.
hey, listen, JSN was also phenomenal, crazy yards. But I think CMC record breaking year. I think he did it good.
And I think for assistant coach of the year, I think this is not Monday morning quarterbacking. I think you could have gave it to Kubiak. Now again, McDaniel's okay. I guess you could have said, but if you're
Okay,
going to
yeah,
give,
that's fair.
but if you're going to give
Fair.
assistant, and again, this may not have one bearing on versus the other. They may just look at all these awards in a vacuum. I fully I fully believe that if you're going to nominate coach of the year to Vrabel, I don't think you can kind of do right by the league in terms of voting to also give the assistant coach of the year to Josh McDaniels. I understand like all the way up the flagpole that it has to run and operate smoothly if you're a coaching staff and you go from 4 wins to 14 wins or whatever they added in terms of their total. And they're a big part of that. And it's not just Drake May. But I do think that okay, so let's say Josh McDaniels is definitively the assistant coach of the year. I think then maybe it's Ben Johnson as coach of the year. Maybe it's Mike McDonald. Maybe it's Liam Cohen. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. Ben Johnson had a phenomenal year. He
Phenomenal.
took he made excuse me what started off looking like a rocky season, turned it around into a playoff team, like a real good playoff team. Look at what Caleb Williams had to deal with last year. Look what he had to do this year. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with your point wholeheartedly. Like I feel like somebody else should have got it. It should have been a bit of a shakeup.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know in the minds of these committees how they vote on them. Do they vote in a vacuum, or are they cross-referencing the awards to the other awards? Because that would explain a lot. Mark, any pushback on that before we kind of move on?
We seen how they vote.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah,
Well, we'll talk about the Hall of Fame because Mark jumped to that, but we'll talk Hall of Fame after this in a second.
yeah. No, not really any pushback on that. No.
You understand where we're coming from, kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, fair. Yeah. Hall of Fame inductions, we had a few great ones, a lot from our lifetime as 30 plus year old fans. Larry Fitzgerald, Adam Vinatieri, Luke Kuechly, Drew Brees, and Roger Craig are your 2025 class, Hall of Fame class for the Football Hall of Fame. I know Mark kind of preluded to it. He thought that Roger Craig was the most deserving. Do you feel like there was a snub from that class? And then I'll kind of throw it around to Bars after that.
Yeah.
I have a question. Can I throw a question on top of your question?
Sure.
Do you think there was a least deserving as well?
Okay. All right.
Least deserving. That's a tough one. Can you read the list
Of
back?
course, of course. Larry Fitzgerald, Adam Vinatieri, Luke Kuechly, Drew Brees, Roger Craig.
I guess. Just because like the obvious snub is like Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
I'd say like maybe like you put Bill Belichick on instead of Vinatieri and like he can wait another year. But I don't know. I think it would be funny if Eli Manning got in. Like if Bill Belichick got snubbed and then Eli Manning made it in before him. Like I don't know. I think a lot of Giants fans would have enjoyed that, but no, I think Roger Craig, yeah, was definitely the most deserving just because he had to wait the longest, and I think Eli Manning would have been a funny one, but he can wait. He wasn't the cleanest quarterback throughout his career. He had a couple of
No.
amazing runs, and probably two of my favorite Super Bowls that I've been alive for. But it's no, I think it's the obvious one is Bill Belichick. Like, come on, it's just pettiness from the voters at this point, and
Mhm.
I understand why because they had to face him for 20 years and probably didn't have too much success against him. But you know,
Yeah, 100%. Bars, what about you, man? Do you want me to go down the list real quick again?
Nah, nah,
He's like, I
nah,
heard enough.
nah. Look. Obvious snub. Bill Belichick, man. Come on.
that's what I said.
Obvious
Yeah,
snub.
Yeah.
Obvious
100%.
snub.
Yeah.
Obvious snub. Let's get even wilder with this take. Least deserving, Luke Kuechly. Now,
Oh, please.
he's a great linebacker, but Adam Vinatieri kicked that's a foot of gold right there. You feel me? Like you got to give him that. He's won championships with that foot. You got to give
yeah.
him that. Like so,
So did
the
Megan
most
Fox.
deserving. What?
Go ahead. No.
The most the most deserving is definitely Roger Craig, and I alluded to this to somebody else like I think one of my coworkers. I was like, yeah, Roger Craig, like that's it's a shame he wasn't in there before. Like you said, three chips, like really a driving force as well. Like he that team was great in itself. You got to look at the names that were on that team. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
of course he gets overshadowed. He gets overlooked. Like how can you be? You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. Out of everybody on there, like of course Drew Brees, like all his accomplishments, he got the one ring. Roger got three though. And them legs churned all the way to three championships. You got to give him that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, I mean, it's a great point.
And he was like a dual threat back. Not maybe the greatest receiver at the back position because they didn't really throw to the backs about much that time, but he could catch the ball and take off too.
Yeah. Well, I tend to agree with you. I differentiate because I think like when I grade Hall of Fame inductions, I think about like, were you at the best? Were you the best at your position for like this longest sustained amount of period of time? And then on top of that, secondary would be accomplishments and things like that. Um, so it would be personal stats, and then it would be accomplishments, and then it'd be plus minus to your team because a lot of these awards are based on the reporters' interactions, the people inside the locker rooms that don't resonate, that don't reflect the team's participation. So they have a big bearing on seeing what those guys do in terms of how much they add and subtract to their team. So I mean, that's the whole thing with TL. We know about that. I would say Kuechly's definitely the most deserving. People forget how dominant he was in a short fashion because of the period of like 8 to 10 years that he was in the league. But
Didn't play too long.
he was by far the best in his position
Yeah.
for that period, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
I think with Breeze, people like he was always kind of the third fiddle quarterback in the conversation with Peyton Manning and with Brady.
Yep.
And after that, you go into Brady and Rodgers. He was always at least third or fourth, and that's a hard, pill to swallow and a tough mountain to climb. But he always seemed just to be like the little train that could put up a ton of stats because he's in a booming offense. And people forget that like that was a lot of Sean Payton. That wasn't just Breeze too. So we have to divide kind of the respective success as well where it's due. For me, I mean, we're looking forward to 26. I think the biggest snub, and people are going to forget about this guy, but I thought he was phenomenal, was Torrey Holt. I think Torrey Holt being up for the first time, um, he,
We're not going.
I think I think he's definitely one of those guys who was the best at his position, at least one or two for a long period, a sustained period of time. Didn't get the credit that he was due, and was just a phenomenal athlete. I mean, he was just really. I mean, didn't have a lot of drops, had really great hands, great route runner. So I think Torrey Holt would be somebody that would be like top of my list as a snub for next year into this year as well.
Well, while Tory is good, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. But we're just gonna say that for another. Let's just say that for another day. Let's talk about Super Bowl. Let's talk about Hall of Fame snubs another day.
Yeah,
Who
yeah,
might
100%.
hold?
Yeah, we can. No, I mean, this is a good ongoing debate, and I appreciate Mark bringing it up because it's like it is a good conversation. Yeah, hell yeah. Um, well, I mean, this was we can definitely continue this another time. I thought this was a great place to start, though. Obviously, we're still kind of soaking in the lore of the Super Bowl. We're gonna have a dry spell here, but we're still gonna bring you guys content. People at home, we love y'all. We're not going to leave you without fireworks. We got plenty of shit talking to do. We got lots of stuff coming this off season. We'll be sparing. We're going to spread it out, but we will be here. We will have a pulse. Before we go, what do you guys have closing thoughts on the 2025-2026 season? And also, too, like, what do you look forward to moving forward in the off season?
My final thoughts. I think this season of NFL was like had so much parity just on like
Yes.
in both conferences. Just
Yep.
not a lot of like people's preseason predictions like came to fruition. I feel like, and a lot of the top teams in the AFC really fell off this year, including I think my Bills roster wise like really fell off this year. And they had to fire their head coach, and they have Baltimore and Kansas City with Mahomes tearing his ACL. It's just there's a lot of just unexpected things that developed in the AFC as well as the NFC with the Seahawks really emerging this year, and Stafford just sticking around having an amazing season, and it was just a really entertaining year of football, and the playoffs were great, and just excited for next year. And the off season is upon us, and the free agency will be next month, and I think we'll all be tuned in to see what's happening and firing off things in the chat, and it'll be a good time. And
I can't wait.
If I had to put in a prediction for anything coming up this off season, I think the Bills are going to trade for like a big time wide receiver or pass rusher.
Okay.
I think it's go time for Brandon Beane, and I think he's just gonna have a little bit of a fuck it attitude because I don't know if he doesn't do something in 2 or 3 years, I think he'll be gone. So, but yeah, that's my prediction. Like I don't know, maybe Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown, maybe a Max Crosby.
I don't get too lucky. Don't get too.
I know.
Don't get too cute.
So that's it.
That's my man.
No, it was a fun. It was really fun being on this podcast too. It was a great time.
Hell yeah! This is a brotherhood. We're not changing the world over here. We're a brotherhood. We're having fun, and this is what we do. This is what we would do if we were shit talking in the basement. If we were at the bar, that's how we keep it. We keep it real. Bars. What you got?
So this season was like door number 1, door number 2. It was like throwing a shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. Patty Holmes went down.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Seahawks won the Super Bowl. Like it sounds like a homeless man's fever dream. If you were to really just like list everything that happened this year in the NFL. It was ridiculous. It was fucking insane. And this is what we watched the sport for. This is what we became fans for. The upsets, the drama, the heartbreak, the emotions. We watch it so we can see fucking 2 hours of shitty ass football. Epic defense. We watch it so we can see blowouts. We watch this shit so we can see violence, but at the same time, we do not appreciate the violence that happens to players. You know what I'm saying? Like when they get hurt and all that stuff. So shout out to the players, so like the Player Safety Association, doing everything they can to keep players safe. Figure out what's going on over there with San Francisco.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, we got conspiracies. This season was crazy. If you told me Robert Kraft got abducted by an alien after the Super Bowl, I'd fucking believe it. Promise you, because that's how crazy this year has been. Like legitimately. So I say all that to say, if you are Ravens, Bengals, Browns, Cowboys, Packers, uh,
Better fuck
Giants, Patriots,
Bills and
I'm
Ravens.
missing one. Bills,
Bills?
And Ravens.
yes.
Yeah.
Nah, not the Raiders, not the Raiders. Then you
All right.
fucking suck. Then you
Y'all,
fucking
y'all, y'all
suck.
bout to y'all bout to suck for 20 years if you don't get a quarterback. So watch it.
Yeah.
And if you're a Cowgirls fan, you've always sucked. You're still gonna fucking suck.
I'm with
And if you're
that. I'm with
any
that.
team in the AFC North that ain't the Steelers, you were born to suck. So it is what it is, baby. Even
Brian,
when we
Brian,
lose,
come,
we still winning.
Brian,
Bars, if
come
you had
back.
to predict who's gonna be your quarterback next year
That's a good
for the
question.
Steelers?
It's a really good question.
If they got Mike McCarthy's coaching, I might have
Hold
to get
on.
on the field and do something crazy. So I'm
No.
Omaha, Omaha, Omaha.
Yeah, for
I
real.
be right.
Well, you
Nah,
guys,
nah,
you
nah.
guys are you guys are slated to draft Ty Simpson.
I don't know. I gotta check. I gotta do some research on him. But honestly, like, what the fuck we pick up Will Howard for? Like, use the kid, see if he's good. If he's not, bump him off like we did Kenny Pickett for at least like a third round or something. Do him justice, do us justice. But for the love of God, stop drafting fucking useless quarterbacks.
Get a mobile
Bro,
guy. Get a mobile guy, 100%.
And you know what?
Get a guy
Deal
look
with
like
the
he's
diva.
running from ice.
Deal with a fucking diva and get a fucking wide receiver. Who gives a shit? Deal with a diva. Do it. Break the mold. They're talking about thinking about the Rooney rule. Think about that, Rooney, and think about, damn, should I still be the hard nosed like owner I am and not want to? No, nigga, switch this shit up, change it, blow it up, fucking
Yes,
change
facts.
the mold.
Yes, yes.
It's time to blow up the front office.
I
Omar
agree.
Khan, stay for one more year. But if you ain't doing the right shit, he can get the fucking boot too. Everybody get the fucking going. But at the end of the day, yeah, because this is real frustration as a fan, bro. But at the end of the day, yo, keep it peace and break the mold and step out the box, man. Don't do what the Patriots are doing. Step out the fucking box and go all out and get a better receiver, better wide receiver. Go all out, get a better fucking quarterback. Somebody
yeah.
that has legs. Somebody that's not gonna look like a deer in the headlights. Somebody is not gonna look like a fucking crash test dummy, someone who's not gonna look like a mannequin, someone who's not gonna look like a geriatric grandpa, someone who's not gonna look like Joe Biden with a football in his hand. Please, just
Come on,
give
man.
me somebody. I'm done.
Come on, man.
Rant over.
I like Malik Willis.
I
Big
do
guy.
too. I like
Facts,
Malik
man.
Willis.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I
100%.
don't. I don't know about Kyler Murray. He's short, can't see over our big offensive lineman. Not thinking about that.
I don't know if he cares enough either.
Um,
I think he'd rather be playing video games at this point.
I want to say hook Madden up in the rec room. I think we can get him good. Sign him to
Yeah,
1
there
year
you
deal.
go.
EA Sports.
to the game. Um, so a few things. I mean, all great stuff. I'm with you 100% with Pittsburgh. It's like it's almost time to like just nuke that shit. I thought looking back at the rear view of 2025, this was the year of the kickers. There's no doubt about it. There was some amazing kicker play that just completely went under the radar. Saw spotlights of it, but we've never seen more consistent, like high 50 plus yarders going through on a regular basis. These are not your grandfather's kickers. These are like real fucking good kickers.
Mm.
And we're starting to see a lot of those 63 yarders. We're taking them for granted now. It's like, no, this is like elite play. So I thought this was like definitely the year of the kickers. We saw a lot of close games where it really mattered, and it's the haves and have-nots. I also think this was kind of the first year where it's fully been established now that we're not going back on coaches. Coaches are officially Hollywood stars in the NFL. I think they're just on the same level, on par with players now, where if you have a stud coach, you can attract talent the same way like a star quarterback could. I really do believe that. And I think that you get all these young names around the league, Shanahan, Kubiak now, and you got LaFleur, and both LaFleurs for that matter, and you got McVay and stuff, and Liam Cohen. There's so much talent, D'Amico Ryans. There's so much talent around the league at the coaching level that I feel like they can attract players just the way that like Hollywood stars would in their respective field. And I feel like it's the same thing on a football level. This offseason, what I'm looking forward to, a few things. I want to see what Casey does, how they load up this team, how they handle this gap year with Mahomes and their ACL. If they go after Jeremiah Love at the running back position in the draft, right now they're slated around 9th or 10th, I think, in the draft, and they can easily take him from Notre Dame. I think it's a perfect fit. I think the Indianapolis quarterback debate is going to be really interesting. I think the AFC South is really fascinating because there's really three teams vying, and if they want to hold steady on signing a Malik Willis for 1 year and then loading up on Daniel Jones on a franchise deal, I think that's really interesting and great speculation to have for the offseason. The other thing, too, is looking at Detroit. Is Detroit a sinking ship or is it a hole in the boat that needs to be pegged? You got Chicago. They're not going backwards. Green Bay is going to load up. They're going to get Parsons back healthy. It's going to take a year, I understand. But that defense is still elite. A lot of questions with LaFleur's offense, and I get that. And they have a lot of receivers at their disposal. They need to make decisions on who to cut, who to pay. Um, and my final thing, too, to keep an eye on is like the health of the AFC North. I know Bars doesn't want to hear it, but like Cincy and Baltimore get healthy. I mean, who's really running the shit? Shador in the second year. He's got now a former affiliate from Baltimore running that team at the head coach position. They're going to be at least interesting, and they've never had a shortage of talent. It's always been dysfunction. It's been the same problem that Oakland has. So I think those are kind of like my four real big, big things to watch for the offseason. Kansas City, Indianapolis' quarterback debate, Detroit and the NFC, heavyweights, and then the AFC North balance of power. I think those are really going to be interesting storylines. With that, guys, any parting words? I know we'll be back on at some point, but we can't promise anybody at home what we'll be doing and when we'll be back. So, what do you guys want to say to the people at home?
Enjoy a season where like 10 head coaches lost their jobs because that's some rare shit. Like,
Yeah,
enjoy that shit. You got to see if this was your first year tuning into football and tuning in the Bars After the Catch podcast, well, this is our first year running. But irregardless, if you tuned in this year, we'd like to thank you for your support and
hell
everything
yeah,
that was going on. Like, subscribe, follow us on all the channels accordingly. You already know what it is. But keep following the sport, keep supporting the sport.
yep.
Football is a great sport. And we'll keep bringing you the hits.
I love it. Beautiful.
Yeah, I reiterate everything that Bars just said. I mean, we appreciate everyone that tuned in this year, and we had a fun time making this show. And we just love football, and some of us just have slightly different opinions about what's going on. And
Wait,
it's just
wait.
really fun to talk about, and disagree or agree, and think of what's going to happen and review what already went down, and it's been a fun time, and I'm
Wait,
looking forward to the off season,
Me too.
and next season will be even funner. It'll be I think we'll get even better. We'll get better as we go.
Hell yeah. Mars, what's on your mind?
is this the football podcast? I thought we were just talking shit. Nah, I'm fucking around. I'm fucking around. I'm fucking around. I'm fucking around. Fucking around.
I'm
I'm a
I'm excited.
walking
I'm
Jack Jack.
excited too. I'm mad excited. I mean, I'm so grateful and thankful for like our friends and our boys who like just support us because they love us and like they don't, damn to be the NFL besides that. But like, I'm really excited for the future because like I know there's a lot of like content related things I want to bring to the show. I want to start doing some live stream shit from like some of these college games that we really mark out. I know that a lot of our friends in our group attend a lot of live games. I really want to integrate that. I mean, there's just so many things, and I think like the content is just it's only up from here. And I'm truly, from the bottom of my heart, I'm like really blessed and grateful that like I have an outlet to hang out with my boys on the pod and connect with y'all. And it goes for A Young, it goes for Nico, it goes for Brian,
Yeah.
it goes for Big Bob, it goes for Desmond, even him. I think this is just a great time, and we bring everything we can to the show, but we talk like we would be if we were at the bar talking with y'all. So that's how transparent we're going to be, and I'm excited for a good off season too.
Yeah, I love it here with you. I love it here with y'all. You guys teach me new shit all the time. I'm human. I'm fallible. I get
We
wrong. I
all
get
are,
takes
man.
wrong. I get facts wrong. Shit is what it is.
We
But
do it
that's
too,
why I got
bro.
my boys here.
Not
Y'all,
easy.
y'all got my back, and you know what I'm saying.
We're in the
We
trenches. We
we
love
we
you,
in this
bro.
together.
Hey, sometimes I know some pretty useless information, so you know.
For life. That's what
Yeah,
life.
that's it. Well, yeah, go Bills.
Go
Oh my
Bills. Go
god!
Steelers. Go Bills. Go Steelers.
Go
Go Raiders.
Raiders! Go Raiders!
Go Eagles.
Go
Go
Eagles!
Giants. Go Cowboys. Go Syracuse Orange for
You're
Nico.
never gonna hear "Go Cowboys"
Go
come out of
Patriots.
my
Go
mouth.
UConn, baby.
And go UConn.
Go
First and foremost.
UConn.
Hell yeah.
UConn.
We got
And shout out
four.
to some other Connecticut teams. Yale. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Fuck it. Yeah. UNH. Yeah, we
Okay.
got we got four we got four people on the pod in Connecticut, so I wanted to say that. So shout out.
Represent.
I love it. Everybody at
All
home,
right.
thank you guys for an amazing season. We will be back in some form or fashion. But until then, we're signing off. Take care and God bless.
wait for the off season.
Yes, that's right. Peace out, everybody. Bye bye.